Hey, you've tuned into Math with Mr. C, and we've moved on to Chapter 19. This is the first lesson, reading and making graphs. Once you're ready to move on, we're going in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're not checking homework for this, so we're going right into the lesson. There's 2 graphs that we'll be talking about today that we need to be able to read or make. The first one is a line graph, specifically a double line graph. Well, why are there 2 lines here? Well, let's find out. So, how are data represented in a double line graph? Line graphs are often used to represent data over time. So, if they give you time, and time is always on the bottom with a line graph, if they give you years and how the data has changed, then you're going to use a line graph, not the other graph we're going to talk about. And the line graph shows 2 similar sets of data points with connecting line segments. So whenever you want to compare 2 things over time, then you're going to use a double line graph, not just one. I see that here they're comparing men and women in participation in NCAA college sports for men and women. So how many participate in the thousands? Here we see there's 200,000 in the year of 1997 to 1998 that participated in men's NCAA college sports. So I'm thinking, what does this point right here mean? Well, that means that 150,000, see it says in thousands, 150,000 women participated in NCAA college sports in the year of 2001-2002. And I hope we're getting a little more familiar with what these mean. Once we kind of understand what these graphs are, then we can answer questions about them. Between what years did participation in college sports decrease, which means go down, for both men and women? And we're going to look for when they both went down. This is just a smaller version of the same graph in a specific place. So I'm looking between the years of 2000 and 2001, and 2001 and 2002, and it's hard to see for this one, but they both went down as opposed to going up. And that is just a smaller version. I'm showing you this section. They both went down, so my answer would be participation decreased between this year and this one, with a clue word of pancake and waffles. Another vocab word that we're going to learn today is a trend. We already mentioned it. Line graphs may show a trend or general direction in the data that can help you predict what the data might be in the future. So basically a trend is just, is it going up or down? So the general direction of the line graph is going up. So the trend, it's reasonable to predict that women's participation in college sports will continue to increase. So the trend is that women are increasing in their participation more and more. More women are going into sports. Here are your vocab notes. Please write the definitions for each, and they have an accompanying picture that you don't need to draw, but they're there so that you understand what they mean. Here's example 1. Follow me with the pointer before you write anything. The next graph that we're doing is a double bar graph. Last one was double line graph. This is double bar graph. Bar graphs are used to compare data as well, just like line graphs are. A double bar graph compares 2 similar sets of data, but they're represented as bars, such as here, going up and down on one graph. So, at the end of example 1, you will have this graph in your notes, but we're going to walk step by step how to do it. And for a second, let's just look at reading this graph. I see that it's Winter Olympic medals 1. The number of medals are on the side, the countries are on the bottom, and we're comparing 2 years. So what does this point right here mean? Well, it means, I see that's a little bit over 35, so I'd say Germany won 36 medals. When? Got to look at this key here, in 2002. I know that because it's orange. And why is this even worth making? Well, it's comparing Germany to itself. See, it's comparing Germany in 2002 to 2006, but it's also comparing Germany to these other countries. All right, so step 1, write a title and label the horizontal and vertical axes. So first write Winter Olympic medals won at the top. Then, if you're using notebook paper, then you're in a good position. If you're not, you can cut out a little bit and put it in your notes. But I'm going to count from the title. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines down, and then put a line, and then sideways write number of medals. And then sideways, we're going to put the countries: Germany, Norway, Russia, and the US. Bar graphs go up and down, so if we put the countries on the side, the bar graph would go sideways. That would be okay too, but we want them to go up and down. What are we going to do next? On the vertical axis, which is up and down, mark and label equal intervals beginning with 0. So we have 0, skip a line, write 5 next to it, skip a line 10, and then number your graph, skipping a line going equal distance each time. You can pause the video now until you're done. Next, on the horizontal axis, write the categories at equal intervals. What that means is that Germany's here, and then you're going to go this far away and write Norway, and the same distance away to write Russia, and the same distance away to write US. Next, you're going to need to choose colors and make a key to show what each color represents, which means that you don't need to use orange or blue, but you could. And this is the key here. So whatever color you pick, you need to write a year next to it to represent what color that is. And you can put the key in the same place that the book has it right here. So once you've chosen your colors, we need to draw a bar, which is right here. And you use the data that they've given you in order to make the bar how high it needs to be. So Norway in 2002 had 25 medals. So Norway in 2002 goes up to 25. Likewise with the rest of the bars. Once you're done, unpause the video and we're going to move on. Here's example 2. So now we're going to make a double bar graph, which is just like last time, to compare this pair of data. The challenge is, do you know what to label it and how to make the bar graph? Try to challenge yourself. So for my graph, I made a key where Bill was blue and green was Renee. The color doesn't matter. I titled it Types of Book Read because they're keeping track of types of book they read. I put the types of book down here, and the way that I could compare two names was just making them different colors, and numbers I like to always put on the side. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. For numbers 1 through 3 on independent partners practice, you're going to use this to answer the questions, and you do not need to write these questions, just number 1, 2, 3 in your notebook, and we'll come back for the answers in 3, 2, 1. They chose to use a line graph here because there's multiple years that we're comparing. This year, this year, this year, and this year. And we're comparing how population has grown in those two counties. Now describe any trends you see in the graph. The county in blue it was growing here, now it's growing even more. It's growing faster than ever before. Let's look at red. Is it growing faster than ever before? The red county is slowing down. It was here, and then it slowed down, and then it's grown even less in this last year. So I'm gonna expect that they're not gonna grow at all soon. Jimmy has sorted the school's band uniforms into small, medium, and large sizes. He wants to make a graph to show how many new and used uniforms are in each group. What kind of graph should he make? Well, is he talking about years, like multiple years? Because I know that's a line graph. He doesn't talk about years, and we're going to compare these sizes and if they're new or used. So let me show you a little example. The correct answer, which you don't need to make this, but it would look something like this. It would be best compared using a bar graph, and the bar graph would look like this. Thank you for watching this video. Please click the link below for Khan Academy and practice, and then you may choose one of these other options. We're actually at book 4 now.